your opinion, what are some of the misconceptions about executive presence that you're aware of, and how can individuals work to overcome them?
Um, the misconceptions. I do see a lot of women not dressing to their level.
Hmm. What, and is it a misconception that they think they don't have to, or
Well, that's possible, or they're too busy, or they almost feel they need to dress like the men,
mm,
like with a more corporate, staid, to have that presence. Whereas I love colour, um, and I've always felt intuitively that colour can give you presence. And with what you've created for me, help me deliver that with colour, but still with authority. Choosing the right colours that gives that authority without having to be the black and white corporate stereotype.
yes, well, I mean, colour has enormous psychological meaning attached to it, not just for the wearer, but for whoever is in front of you as well. So that's where, yes, we very much considered what colours you needed to wear for those on stage presenting type scenarios versus what colours you could wear in a more consulting, mentoring type role where you have to be more relatable and not so dominating or domineering, or not so authoritative, I should say, but more on the same page where you can allow that person to be able to open up and talk freely with you. Different to being on stage where you're needing to capture their attention and have them listen to every single word that you're saying.
Mm. The
Yeah.
other thing too, Julie, I noticed is, um, for the last 15 years of my working life, I was actually working virtually way before everybody else was doing virtual.
Yeah.
And so on a one-on-one consulting, I was consulting virtually. And like you say, it was a very different feel, and it was a more relaxed feel. And they're only seeing you from your waist up.
Yeah.
So I didn't find any issues on the one-on-one with the consulting. For me, it was more that room presence, that presentation, that engaging, um, environment. That was probably for me the most important.
Yeah. Yeah. What, I mean, you obviously was successful once we fixed that and you felt empowered in, the outfits that you were wearing for those particular events. Um, what would have happened if we hadn't have done that for you?
I think my career would have floundered, definitely floundered.
Mm.
Yeah, and I probably would have been seen to be, you know, maybe the office manager at the back of the room
Mm.
rather than having the presence that I needed to have, definitely.
Mm. So it sounds like it really accelerated your earning capacity and your career and your
100%. 100%. And I think that's really the thing, Julie, that and maybe you find this is that women probably don't value themselves. They don't want to spend the money on themselves because as women we tend to want to care for our family. We want to, we, the last people that we spend on is ourselves. And to spend money, and it's not cheap to dress well. You can do it well, but to have, a few really good quality pieces in the wardrobe um, is just so worthwhile. Just so worthwhile. Even as I'm retired, I still find I love the comments that I get from people. And they always saying, you dress so well. And I had someone say to me the other day, because they'd come around just for coffee and some, casually, and they were dressed in their jeans. And I said, well, you're just going to have to put up with me the way I am because I don't have jeans. And so, I do dress very differently to other people, and they notice it. And it makes, in retirement, you don't get the kudos that you get at work. And so it's a different way of getting kudos and feeling good about yourself, regardless of whether you're working or not.
Interesting. I think it's about setting standards for yourself as well and having a level of self-respect that, there's a line you don't cross. And that's just for yourself. I'm not saying that's in general, but there's
Yeah.
a line you don't cross in terms of what's acceptable for you, in terms of how you put yourself together, and you stick to that. And that's what gets you through each day.